I've run an e-commerce marketing agency for the past 8 years, worked with over 60 different brands, audited a lot more, spent over $11 million in ads, generated over $50 million in revenue. I'm going to condense 8 years of brutally honest advice for e-commerce brand owners into this one video. So let's get started. Number one, know your numbers and have clear targets for revenue and profit. I've spoken to many business owners who do not know their numbers or their targets. And the financial side of the e-commerce business can seem daunting, but it's actually really simple. What I recommend is always having some sort of spreadsheet that you can add your revenue and profit targets into, and then from them work back, right? And understand what is your target customer acquisition cost? What is your target ROAS? What is your target MER, right? So really the metrics that you want to work back on from revenue and profit are your MER, so your marketing efficiency ratio, your AMER, so your new customer marketing efficiency ratio, your NC ROAS, which is your new customer ROAS for all products and all channels, and then also your new customer acquisition cost, right? Your NCAC, which is the new customer acquisition cost, again, split out by different products and also different channels. Now, once you have these targets clear and you've worked back from the revenue and profit that you want to make as a business, then the people who are running the ads, whether it's yourself, whether it's an agency, whether you have an in-house team, the people that are responsible for acquiring customers through affiliate marketing, like all the different channels, now they have clear North Star metrics to aim towards. And you know that if you hit those metrics at a certain level of spend, that you're going to hit your overall targets. So number two, understand how paid ads work, know the lingo, and also know what goes into a successful paid ads strategy. So one of the worst things you can do as a business owner is outsource something that's so important in your business and know nothing about it, right? And this is what I see happen a lot of times, where business owners will outsource their paid ads, right? People who run their Facebook ads, Google ads, TikTok ads, whatever it is. And there's no problem with getting someone else to do it, right? In fact, you want to offload things that are not within your genius. Of course, you want to buy back that time, right? But the problem comes in not understanding how it works. And the reason why is because the person who's running those ads, right, they could be BSing you, right? When you're getting regular updates from them, right? They might be saying one thing, it may not even be the case, right? So if you know nothing about it, then it's going to be very difficult to know what's wrong and what's right? So by understanding just how the platforms work, the main metrics, how do you optimize towards those main metrics, the main things that go in, like how important creative is on meta ads, for example, how broad targeting is more and more important than interest targeting, that you've got to look across the funnel and look at your conversion rate and AOV and how it all comes together. Once you understand that, now you can have a much better and more clear conversation with the person who's running your ads, and you get a pulse on whether they're actually doing a good job or not, okay? So I would really take the time to just understand how it works, get the person running ads to teach you over a course of a few different update calls that you have. You should be having regular updates with the person that's running your ads. And yeah, once you have that awareness, you're going to be able to much better lead that ad strategy and lead the business towards your objectives. So number three, optimize for performance branding. Now, too many business owners, they get stuck in just focusing on brand and not focusing on conversion optimized principles. So just to be clear, brand is really important, right? Of course you want to focus on brand. Of course you want to increase the perceived value of your brand and your products. But if you just focus on brand, it's going to be very difficult to have a profitable customer acquisition strategy, especially through paid ads. So what you want to do is you want to find a balance that balances out the brand, but also balances out the conversion optimized direct response principles. And this goes for like your whole ecosystem, right? So your paid ads, which includes your creatives, your copy, your website, your landing pages, your emails, your direct mail, like everything across the brand, to have that performance branding look and feel. And that way you're able to achieve the best of both when you marry those together. Number four is never let an agency or freelancer own any of your assets. Now, I've seen too many times and I've seen too many horror stories of e-commerce brand owners where they worked with an agency or a freelancer. That agency, for whatever reason, was the owner of the ad account or the pixel, and when they parted ways with the agency kicked them out and never gave them the data back, right? And that is a terrible, terrible situation to be in. So what I always say is you should never have someone else have that ownership over your assets, right? Those are your assets. That's your data. And a lot of e-com brand owners don't realize that. So really, really important, just make sure that you have the ownership of your ad accounts, pixels, your social pages, even like your website, right? Just look across the whole business and just make sure that you have the ownership. It also should be clear in the contract that you have with the agency or the freelancer or even an in-house team that all the work that they do, you have a unlimited license to that work and ownership of that work. So all the creatives, all the landing pages, all the website changes that are made during the relationship, those are yours, right? You own those assets. So just really, really important, because I've seen it way too many times, and yeah, that is something to keep in mind. So number 5, product is king. So the brands that scale the furthest, they grow the furthest, they are around for the longest time is because they have the best product. Now, even if you have a mediocre product, you will see some success in the short term, but sooner or later you're going to plateau and customers are going to realize that your product is not as good as it's made out to be. And the best brand owners, the best operators are obsessed with making their product better and better and better, and also making the customer experience even better than the product itself. Now, this is a very, very simple concept, right? But it's actually really, really hard to do. It's hard to continuously innovate and push the boundaries of what's possible and be the person who spearheads the market, right? It's hard to do that. But if you can do that, it gives you and opens up an opportunity that will allow your business to become more valuable, to acquire more customers, to retain more customers, to grow the business further, and ultimately have a more sellable business. And there's an invisible hand that works for you or against you. It's called word of mouth. So if you have an overall positive word of mouth, that invisible hand is going to work in your favor, right? You might see your CAC remain the same, like remain stable as you scale. You might see that you have this halo effect that's coming in from your ads where the word of mouth is growing and compounding and working for you. So you're getting extra revenue that's unattributed. But on the other hand, if that word of mouth overall is negative, that's going to work against you. And the person that's running your ads is not going to see it coming. You're not going to see it coming. What will happen is your CAC, your CPAs, your ROAS, they will start to move in the wrong direction, right? So your CAC will increase or your ROAS will decrease, and you'll be grasping at straws. You won't know where it's come from because it's come out of nowhere. And because it's an invisible hand and something that you can't really track or measure, the word of mouth, whereas if it's negative, it's going to really, really impact you, right? And it's a hard force to work against. So now that you're aware of that invisible force, just make sure that your product and customer experience are excellent. So number 6, running out of stock is a bad thing. I know, controversial, but from my experience, what I've found is that if we're crushing it and we're growing and the ads are working really well for a specific product or offer, and then that product goes out of stock, we lose all the momentum. And momentum is a force. It's hard to build. And once you have it, it's hard to stop. And any day of the week, I'd rather keep my momentum that I've taken so much time to build over selling out and using that as a way to look good on social media or PR, right? So to avoid selling out, it's important that you are forecasting your inventory, right? And you're planning out your inventory. And you can do this by also factoring in, the time of year that's coming up. So if Q4 is coming up, there's going to be a busier time of year. You can look at historic data to predict future data. But on top of that, I'd also talk to the person that's running your ads, or maybe it might be you that's running your ads, and understand what are the plans for ad spend, right? Because if you plan on ad spend and you plan, you can use all the math to understand how many sales like you're going to do, right? And build up this rough estimate and understand how much product you need to order to make sure that you're meeting the needs of inventory. So number 7, don't rely on paid ads to grow your business. This is a very, very simple one, but is often overlooked. And Everyone knows they should be diversifying their customer acquisition, right? Everyone knows that, yeah, we don't want to be reliant on Facebook ads, but very few people actually get other channels to work as well as, let's say, their Facebook ads or their Google ads. So look at other channels, right? Affiliate marketing, influencer marketing, organic social, right? TikTok shop. Just diversify away from paid ads. It's also going to help your overall marketing mix because you're going to have more touch points on your potential customers, which is going to help with that customer journey. Number 8, place a lot of importance on customer retention and lifetime value. So naturally, the e-commerce business model means that you're going to pay to acquire customers, and then only 15 to 30% of those customers are going to come back and repeat purchase from you. And because of this, it's your responsibility to make sure that you can increase that returning customer rate, that percentage of customers that come back and repurchase. And there's multiple ways you can do that, right? Email and SMS marketing are going to be key. They're always going to be key for that, right? So you want to make sure that you have a really, really strong post-purchase flow strategy set up. And you also want to make sure you have a strong campaign strategy set up that is also designed to increase retention and increase LTV. Other things you can do, other mediums such as direct mail, right? You can introduce subscription programs to have that compounding recurring revenue. You can build a Facebook group for your existing customers where existing customers can vote on new products. They can get exclusive access and early access to new product drops, exclusive giveaways. You should have other products that complement the hero product. So it means that it's very easy to sell additional products to your existing customers who already have your hero product. And what we touched on earlier in this video, you should have an outstanding customer experience and product. So those are the 8 pieces of feedback that I would give to e-commerce brand owners over my 8 years of experience as an e-commerce marketing agency owner. And if you found this valuable, or maybe someone on your team found it valuable, please share it with someone else. And this is how I know whether this style of content is something that I should be creating more of or less of. I'm creating these videos for you, the business owner, right? So if you found it valuable, please share it so that I know that this is more of the kind of content that you want.